Green Arrow issue 19. So last issue, this was very good. Issue 18, we were both very positive on. And this issue kind of takes this a little bit further and develops this relationship with Oliver and this new cop lady character, Benny, or I think it's Benitez, or I think it's her actual name, but Benny was the nickname. That said, though, there's a little bit more of like what the potential like motive is for this at the start, which is this kid who's making sandwiches. There's like a cartoon in the background, and the kid kind of drops down after he's had a bite of his food, or maybe after he's well, they even had the bite actually, because I mean that's the thing, we're mostly talking about water here and like, you know, what's in the drinking supply.
So, and I was gonna say, this is probably the kid from the opening of the last one. That was
I would assume so. Yeah, I mean, I didn't go back and check to see if the kids look similar, but I'm just assuming it's the same kid. But yeah, basically things get woozy and the art kind of reflects that, and he collapses, and then the mum comes home and finds him lying there and starts panicking, yelling for help. So yeah, super like sort of grim opening. But then, you know, we're with Oliver and the detective lady, and they're talking about what's going on, and the fact that she has a dog called Arrow, which he gets kind of like, oh, you named him after me? And she's like, no, he actually came with that name. But, you know, so, yeah, there's kind of a fun thing here of like, does Oliver have an ego kind of thing? You know, they go to the crime scene, because at the end of the last issue revealed that this other major player was killed. The senator. The senator. That's what I couldn't remember what his position was. But they're on the way to the crime scene, and we get a lot of classic stuff that we usually see with Batman, which is this idea that the local police are like, wait, you're letting him in with you? Like, this is a crime scene, don't let him in. So you know, there's a bit of resistance at the crime scene at the mansion as they're going in. Of course, Oliver's reaction to all this is a bit different to Batman, where he's like, you know, he's cracking quips and one-liners and almost agitating them a little bit, you know?
Whereas Bruce would just ignore it and keep walking.
Maybe scowl a little bit. You know, just
Oliver's like me and can't let a sentence go. Because like when he just calls him a vigilante, and Oliver's just like, yeah, I was invited to be somewhere else, but you folks keep letting people get killed. Right? So he's really just gotta dig it in, and you know,
he's like two like comments away from someone saying, you let a illegal mass vigilante in here, for Oliver just turn around going, yeah, well, I bet you've got a small dick. Just walking away. Like, that's the attitude that he's bringing to this.
Absolutely. And I just love it. And he's wearing a face cover over his face, right? That's kind of new when it comes to Arrow. You know, we're not quite used to seeing that. So it gives him more of this kind of, why should they trust him, right? He's literally a mass vigilante. So I also understand where the crime scene guys are coming from, you know, but, you know, he is the Green Arrow. He's a public superhero. So,
yeah, you know, and Montos is on art, of course. The art is very good. I will say, though, that just by the nature of what the story is in this issue, is it doesn't let Montos shine quite as much for, like, the first half of the issue. Because the last issue, there was all that stuff at the top of the rooftops, and then all that like searching the crime scene in the dark quietly. There was a lot of like art showcase pages. Here, you know, there's a lot more dialogue, there's a lot more setting up plot, so it's not as art heavy or art focused, maybe is a better way of putting it. But you know, they go meet the tech guy who's looking at the security footage, and he's freaking out that he's working with Green Arrow. And they're looking for the killer, right? And they see someone enter the building on the camera, right? No way to ID them. They've got a mask and stuff on. But they also can't figure out when they left, because there's no footage of them leaving. And there's kind of like, oh, what if he's still in the house? Like, that's kind of the thing they get to. But by this point, Benny has left to go and walk her dog, because the dog was barking. So the big sort of like horror movie style suspense here is that as Green Arrow and the tech guy are watching the cameras, they actually see the killer sneaking up behind her as she's walking the dog, and it's like, oh shit. So this is where the art gets to take off a little bit, because things go quiet and Oliver has to run through the mansion at top speed to try and get to the front entrance, to get to the stairs and maybe fire off a shot to help her. And he actually is kind of late. The only reason why she doesn't get killed, because the killer's about to swing something at her, is actually because her dog like kind of like senses it and like jumps up and like bites him. So and then Oliver takes a shot and gets the killer in the leg, I think. But yeah, just like this is like it was almost like the first half of the book was like, other than the little opening with the kid, it was all dialogue heavy, and it was fun. You know, it was like, you know, good stuff where Oliver's got an ego and he's interacting with people. We're building up this relationship with the detective lady. That stuff's all good. But then you get to this point where it's like, oh, he's still in the house. And then from that point on, oh, the art's going full drive now. Now the art's like it's all action now, and it's suspenseful because because I was actually a little bit worried. Like, oh, please don't tell me we set her up just to kill her off like in issue 2, because I actually kind of like her character.
Yeah, and it is very, like you said, it's like a slasher movie where we're watching the killer sneak up on her from the security footage, and then just the way that we never get a full, like a good view of the killer, right up until they get shot in the leg by Oliver. So just the way that that's paced out through the storytelling and through Montos's art, it builds that suspense just very naturally, because there's very little talking from that point. I mean, he's trying to line up the shot, right? And then he's calling for help from the police. So there's that kind of stuff, but it's all very told in the visuals.
Yeah, and I really like the layout in that page, actually, because it does that thing where the panels are getting smaller as he's taking aim. So it's like he's getting more and more focused, so there's more and more gutter space, right? It feels like it's zooming in a sense.
Yeah.
As he's about to release the bow. So no, I mean, it's good stuff. The killer gets it in the leg. Good silhouette panel of getting like the sort of the ballpoint arrow hits them in the face, and then Oliver goes down, helps her up, and they pull the mask off the killer, and it seems to be a sick woman. It seems to be a woman who's got cancer based on the bald head. That would be the assumption. And it immediately made me think, well, is it always the same killer? Because it kind of feels like, based on this ending, I was thinking, oh wait, is each murder perpetrated by a different person who's sick because of what's happened with the water supply? These are all people who are victims of what happened, so they've all formed a pact, or someone's maybe there's a ringleader who's like encouraging them all to do this. But this doesn't seem like someone who's going to go around killing bunches of lots of people. That said, though, it does beg the question: why was she going after the detective? Like, why her?
Oh. So maybe just happenstance. The detective's there trying to make you get away.
Maybe
it's just an obstacle, right? Because it doesn't feel like it's part of the freshwater killings.
But why wait around then? Why not just leave? Because she specifically waited in the mansion.
Yeah, I don't know. My thing, maybe if she is that sick, she had after killing the senator,
she had to rest. She had to lie down for a minute. Maybe. I mean, she looks sick. She's very gaunt. It's not just the bald head. Yeah.
Though the way that Montos draws her, she looks very gaunt as well.
And she also says, "Please, I'm so sorry." She says, "I'm sorry." That's the last thing she sort of murmurs out as the book's ending. Yeah. And I feel like, so I'm still kind of sticking to my theory that maybe different sick people who have been affected by this are going after the perpetrators. So each murder's a different person technically. But her going after the detective and staying around in the house like a horror movie villain does feel like it's a little bit against that. So I don't really know how to put those two things together, but maybe we'll get some answers next issue. But no, I mean, look at it this way. I actually cared if this character was going to die. I was like, oh, please don't kill her off. The fact that you've got me thinking that in issue 2 of your run for a new character is good stuff. It means I care already. You made me care about a character.
For sure. I mean, she compliments Oliver really well, right? They have some pretty witty dialogue back and forth. So between the two issues, CONDON worked really quick to ingratiate her to us. So that's some solid storytelling. And now you introduced a dog too, which you hooked me, right? I want to keep that dog safe at all costs. So, but yeah.
Yeah, no, good stuff on that front. Art is, again, gorgeous throughout, but really the back half's where it gets to sing and gets to do all the fancy stuff with, just a slightly more in-depth layouts, slightly more kind of like just focus on it because of the tensions being quite high. And a lot of the stuff with the killer in this gas mask with the red coat or the pink coat just really pops against the dark shadows in those panels. So.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's just a coincidence. I don't know if it's the same colorist that did War Journal, but the green complemented with this purple right? Again, like it's a different shade of purple this time around, but there's just something with Montos's art. Maybe it's the shadows where the green and that purple really work well together. Because that page where the killer goes to hit Benitez and everything has the dog's barking. It's all in purple, and it's like purples and oranges with the blue. It's just all that coloring just makes the entire page sing.
Yeah. And I think it's also very well paced. Like I think you get the opening little like sort of flashback style scene, but then after that, it feels like it follows on from where issue 1 was. It continues a natural pace and builds up to like an exciting element, which is the killer's still here. So when someone's in danger, we have to deal with that. I appreciate a tightly paced story where it doesn't feel like we're just jumping around. Like, and there's not anything wrong with that when it's done well, because you may have a good reason to jump around. But I think I like how kind of just like one scene's affecting the next, like constantly here in a way that's, I think, satisfying to get through. So, it's an good issue. I don't know if I like it more than the last issue. Maybe the last issue having a bit more time to showcase the art just make me like that a bit more, but like not by much. Like this is still a very good follow-up.
It's still compared to the Green Arrow we were getting right before here, which is very messy type stuff. I like the fact that just through 2 issues, it is very focused, and it has a sense of who these characters are and the dynamics between Oliver and the police and all this other type of stuff. Like it has an identity already through 2 issues. Which is, it really speaks well for the creative team.
Absolutely. So no, good stuff. What are you giving Green Arrow 19?
I'm going to give this an 8.5.
Yeah, I think I'm inclined to agree with that score. Higher than an 8, but I won't quite call it amazing. I'll say it's great.
Yeah.